Hey guys, welcome back to Awesome Toys TV Studio, and today we are taking a closer look at all the new kits that's coming out for the new anime Gundam Builders Re-Rise. We've already covered this in our previous video, but those were all based on the official pictures from Bandai. And as you know, sometimes looking at the official pictures versus the actual kit itself, it's actually quite a big comparison, and we've been sitting on the fence ever since we look at the official pictures. We're not sure what to think, but fortunately this time we have the actual Gunpla kits itself from this series all on display, and it was all snapped by Yoshi-san from Japan, so a very big thank you to Yoshi-san. I'll put a link down to his Twitter page, so do follow him because he does put up a lot of Gundam and also Gunpla kit coverage. Now, the interesting thing about the protagonist mobile suit for the new series is obviously this time around they've opted to go for a combination sort of a design, right? So you will always have a core Gundam mixed in with three separate mobile armor. So the mobile armor is actually a core booster that combined with the core Gundam itself to form the lovely design as you can see for yourself. So there's V2, Earth 3 and also Mars 4. So I think you can see from the naming convention, core is 1, Earth 3 is 3, there is V2 and of course Mars 4 is 4. So those are the 4 mobile suit design that's been revealed so far. So interestingly, if you look at the design language, they are quite similar with a little bit of tweaks in between the 3 different mobile armor. But what is revealed for the first time at this event, if you look at the kits itself, you will notice that you can actually mix and match the different armors into the core Gundam. So does this mean that, each core Gundam looks the same? Well, surprisingly no. So depending on which one you buy, the Earth 3, V2 or the Mars 4, all 3 separate core Gundam will have a different color combination. So combined together with the mobile armor from those 3 separately, you will have a very unique looking design. It's quite similar to what I would say the 30 minutes mission, quite similar to that modular concept. So you can mix and match. So it looks like all the packs will fit because it's one same core design for the core Gundam and also for the mobile armor. So it will be interesting to see how the Gunpla builders mix and match their own special design for the Gundam Build series. Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise series. It's quite a mouthful to say. Another interesting thing that we have note from the actual display itself is, for the first time, remember we talked about the Haropla a couple of weeks ago. Apparently there's going to be another 2. So there's one with a blue Haropla with a cannon on top, and there's another black one. I can't really tell from the pictures, it's a bit dim, but now that I'm looking a little bit closer to this Haro, this yellow actually could work. It looks a little bit like the Bumblebee yellow, but what really caught my attention was the heart cross shape on its left shoulder armor. So that was something that's quite new. I quite dig that two-tone hearts and also the arrow on the left shoulder armor. Looks quite cool. And of course, this is obviously painted, so I assume that you will need to paint the Gatling gun, the red front part of the Gatling gun for the Haropla. So it looks cool enough for me, yeah. The other one that really caught my attention, and I don't know why I didn't see this earlier before, but this is the mass production type Zeonic sword. And when I first saw it, I was like, okay, it looks alright. But I didn't know, or maybe I've missed that out somehow, that the Zeonic mass production type sword can actually convert or transform into a bazooka, blaster, whatever you want to call it. It looks pretty cool. It reminds me of the Astray Blue Frame weapon, if you guys remember that design as well. There's also the additional Injustice weapon part in Titan colors. So this one I don't really have a good warm feel about it. I mean, it's just a lance and a shield and also an additional booster backpack that goes to the back of the Titan's armor. So I'm not sure whether that mobile suit itself will make an appearance in the show, but the additional Injustice weapon pack seems quite meh. I would rather spend my money actually on the mass production type Zeonic sword. That looks actually a lot cooler. Undoubtedly, this is probably the one mobile suit and Gunpla kit that everybody's looking forward to. This is the Gundam Zelzum. So it's not pronounced with an S. Apparently it's a German word meaning strange. So some of the fans who have commented on our comment box on this video, so we actually found out and Google it. Yes, you know, it's actually Gundam Zeorzum. It's quite an interesting pronunciation. When we first look at the pictures, we didn't really notice this, but I just noticed that the wave fin actually is a little bit crooked, especially the left one, so it looks a little bit like a jester's head somewhat. Or does it have like a third eye on top of the front of the wave fin on the left hand side as well? So it's quite a unique design. I mean, obviously the extension arm is something that everybody's been talking about, and imagine if you can put in some metallic paint on top of the or onto the extension arm itself. I think that would look actually quite cool. But by far the one that we really were interested in was actually the new Zeon Gundam, and we actually saw a sketch by this Japanese artist. His name is Seto-san. So I actually quite like his interpretation of the new Zeonic Gundam, because it looks a lot more thicker, somewhat like a Sazabi look and feel, versus the actual kit itself. You know, the armor looks a little bit thin. So I mean, if someone could actually buy this kit and mod it to make it look very thick, thick armor legs, thick armor arms, and also thick armor chest and shoulders as well, that would definitely look great. But obviously right now, as you can see from the actual kit itself, the big Zeonic sword, not the mass production type, but I assume that you have the same gimmick that you will transform into a blaster. It is definitely there somewhere. We'll have to wait for the gimmick. Only thing that is hoping that the gold will not be the puke gold, otherwise, you know, we would actually have to spend some time to actually paint the whole thing over with actual gold colors. Okay, now the next one is the generic drone unit. This is of course based on the Dev Army that was just released not too long ago, based on the G Gundam series, and this is what they call Eldora Brute or Elder Pluto. I know different search engines is giving me different translation, but obviously with a four-legged design based on the original Dev Army, definitely is something very cool. Imagine painting all the spikes on the shoulder with a metallic silver to give it that how do I say, medieval look, you know, a lot more silver plating armor. I think that would actually look very cool. So definitely worth getting, because it's quite a unique design, I have to say. He has 4 legs and 2 more extensions at the back of his arm. I'm not sure whether those are for what, so that's quite interesting. And this one, I mean, everybody has predicted what this gimmick is going to be. I mean, this is the Volkylander. If you check out the website, it doesn't say anything. It just said that this is not a Mobile Suit Gundam. But obviously, you can see that, you know, at the back of the Volkylander, it has that long wavy hair at the back, and on the of course, the face of the Gundam itself is the Austria Type F. Everyone spotted it. Very good, sharp eyes. So I think it's quite interesting for the last few Gunpla build divers, Gunpla build fighters. We always have one SDCS or SD Gundam that transform into a dragon. So yeah, quite interesting that they carry the team forward with every anime iteration based on this series. So that's quite a nice team that's carried forward. Now this guy actually is getting a lot of attention, and I think most of you will probably get this instead of the protagonist mobile suit. The Gundam Justice Knight is seriously looking quite awesome. I'm sure that you will not get that gold when you get a kit. You probably have to paint it over, but it was quite interesting that they actually put the yellow panel on the chest. So that was quite an odd design choice, I find, because overall design, it has a very cool blue, white, red, gray and gold color, but out of nowhere they put in that green panel on the chest, which is based on the Gundam Seed, if I'm not mistaken. It does look like it. So yeah, I'll probably paint it over with gold as well, or red, if and when I actually get my hands on this kit. Now this one was not shown anywhere, but it was only displayed at the Gundam Base Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken. This is a unannounced kit that's not on the website. We don't know when this guy is coming, but this is the high grade build divers Build Gamma Gundam. I hope I got the name correct, because I'm not sure what is the official naming convention in Japanese, but it's based on the Rick Dare's custom design. Looks pretty badass, and I really dig that simple tone of just blue, white and grey. It doesn't look like a protagonist unit, doesn't look like a grunt unit. Maybe this is one of the mystery fighters that appears in the series as we usually get them. So all in all, I'll have to say, compared to the first video we made when we first covered the Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise series, we were really sitting on the fence. We were not sure, you know, how these kits are gonna play out in the series, whether they look cool, and the overall concept of a core Gundam combining with the armor to build that actual Gundam itself was quite new. But I think from the pictures at the show floor itself, we can say that the designs definitely is 200 to 300 times better than the original Gundam Build Divers. I think hands down, no questions asked. I will probably buy some of the kits here without even watching the anime. I mean, for sure, I will buy the Justice Knight. I think everybody will want to see the review of that. Zeltzum is very cool as well. And of course, your Valky Lander that transforms into Astra Type F SDCS is quite an interesting concept. So these few guys would definitely be on my top list, but I would still want to buy the new Zeonic Gundam All Red. Looks like the Amazing Red Warrior as we've seen from the previous series. So those are the few kits that I will buy definitely without even looking at the anime itself. Anime itself is coming out when? 1-2 months later, because the first kit is only going to be sold. The actual Gundam Earth 3 is only coming out sometime in October. So I think the anime is probably premiering by then. Right now everybody is still hooked on to Sangoku SDS series. So let me know what you guys think. I think definitely the show pictures here really definitely help make my decision on what kit I would want to buy, because frankly speaking, initially looking at the official pictures, it was an easy meh. I know I don't really think it's the right one for me, but Justice Knight looks amazing, right? So thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you think of this new format. You know, I think I'll be sticking with this new format, so you guys can see my mark on the top right or bottom left. You know, I'll keep swapping it in about to make it a bit more interesting, right? Let us know what you think. And if you're new to our channel, there were some of you who say that you're new to the channel, but those of you who have seen our channel for a long time but never subscribed, maybe this is the right time for you to subscribe and support our little channel here on YouTube, right? As usual, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.